What's up, guys? Werner right here with, as promised, the second volume, the second entry in my series of Wack. And today's cassette is indeed whack. Perhaps not quite as whack as last time, but pretty high up there. In some ways worse. In some ways better, but in some ways worse. I am talking about the surprisingly aptly named Tone Deaf Crew. 1989, Boomtown Records. This is indeed Miami-based stuff. The album is called Grand Deaf Audio. Lots of puns going on here. And it's a two-man crew. It is the Great White Shark. He's not actually white, that's just his name. And Dr. D. They do all their own music and production, and they both rhyme on it. So it's really a two-man crew all the way. It's all these guys. There's no outside production or anything. And this is their album, like on Boomtown Records. This is a sort of legit label. It's a division of Hot Records, which did all kinds of stuff in Miami, from like Gucci Crew 2 to, you know, La Trim, to just like almost everybody. And even Boomtown, that division, did a whole bunch of other artists. So it's not a phony baloney label or anything. So here's the album. I'll give you a proper close-up. You can't see it when I do this. So where to start? I was frankly surprised when I heard these guys, and when I mean surprised with how whack they are. But to be fair, they're not 100% outright terrible. In fact, in my own twisted, probably far too open-minded way, there are actually some elements I like of this album. It actually, despite being Miami and, you know, Florida stuff, is not really bass at all. What it's really sort of like is later era LA Dream Team. And I don't think I know anybody on the planet except sort of myself that likes later era LA Dream Team. I mean, sometimes, you know, you'll meet some girls who like stuff like, you know, Rock Berry Jam and sort of their early, you know, when West Coast LA hip hop was really in its formative years, so they weren't so much of a kind of an awkward throwback sound. But when they kind of got more sort of out of hip hop vein into sort of an electro rock, lots of keyboards, you know, and sort of mainstream poppy kind of stuff, and they signed to MCA. So this is like that, but lower budget without the whole MCA, you know, push behind it, and sort of the cheap, inferior version. Now this is the 80s, and this isn't New York, so, you know, you want to give them a little bit of a break for sounding sort of really fundamental and rudimentary. They've got a really basic flow where they really just sort of stop on every single line. I mean, if you heard like Fred Flintstone's Fruity Pebbles rap commercial from way back in the days, that is their style. At least their voices are better. Although, who knows, maybe Fred Flintstone's voice was okay for a rapper. But 89, I mean, you gotta figure this is after, you know, the symphony. This is, you know, after Pulse, this is after the Ultramagnetic MCs. And so even being in Miami, which again, outside of New York, is really throwback. And they reference people like Biz Markie and LL Cool J and stuff on this album, so they're not, you know, living in isolation. They should know what real hip-hop sounds like. And to be fair, I guess what they're trying to do is cultivate their own original sound. And what their own original sound is a lot of noodling around with basic keyboard riffs. So I found this album a couple of years ago, and how I found it actually is because I picked up their single first. And when I tell you, here it is, the single. You can't read the label right now, but that's just as well, because I want to surprise you with the title. When I tell you the title, you'll understand what compelled me to blind buy this, apart from the fact that it was obviously super cheap. The title of the song is The Fart Game. You heard me right, The Fart Game. And again, by the Tone Deaf Crew, actually, I assumed this might really be a flat-out joke song. I mean, this was going to be, you know, like Bobby Jimmy and the Critters, like Hambo, First Rap Part 2, that kind of stuff, like Rappin' Duke. Because Tone Deaf Crew, really, you figure a crew almost has to be where they're calling themselves tone deaf, right? No, this is an earnest rap act. This is a serious album. They've got messages on here. They got bragging style. This is the crew representing for themselves. I mean, this song is lighthearted. It's, you know, perhaps so as opposed to, say, a Bobby Jimmy and the Critters kind of song, it's like, you know, something on Biz Markie's second album. So think of that sort of tone. That's what they're going for. So they are aware of, you know, sort of the silliness and the humor. And I have to say, this is easily one of the best songs on the album. Possibly the best. Their production is cleaner and smoother and a little more professional, although part of that, to be fair, is the fact that the sound quality in this cassette is not so wonderful. It's not terrible, but it's not great, so it sounds better just on the 12-inch. Sensibly, if you had a brother, then he would like fart in your face or something, and that's the fart game. There's really not that much to it, but it's just a fun, anecdotal kind of, you know, lighthearted thing that you can relate to, and that's more than you can say for a lot of hip-hop songs. So, you know, that's you know, it made me want to buy the album, if only to see what the rest of the album was like. Like, is it a whole bunch of joke songs? Are these guys like Bobby Jimmy and Critters? No, that's when I found out the rest of the album is much, much worse. It should have been joke songs. That would have, you know, it wouldn't have made the music any better or anything, but at least would have let you give them a pass.
Yo, E, is that you, man? What's up?
What's up with you, homeboy?
What do you mean?
Did you break wind in here, man?
No, man, I ain't break wind here. Look, right over here. Right over here. The farting spider, man.
Oh, man, you're cracking me up. Get out of here.
Oh, man, I'm serious.
I know that was you, man. You're always playing this little game, man.
What game now?
You know what game. The
What game?
fart game, man.
Fart game? What's that up,
The
man?
fart game. It's like this, man. Check it out.
Well, it started out when you were very young.
Your brother thought it was kind of fun.
You're laying on the floor watching TV.
When he got down on his hands and knees,
In your face, he stuck his butt.
you looked at him and said, yo, what's up?
The seams of his jeans started to vibrate.
Before you knew it, it was too late.
The stinky air rushed past your head.
That's when your dad walked in and he said,
It's fart game, son. You'll play it one day.
that's when you'll be able to say,
It's the fart game, son. You'll play it one day.
and if you play, you'll have to pay.
It's hard to say exactly what they are. You could perhaps say they are Christian rap, you know, in the vein of DC Talk and that whole kind of subgenre. I mean, there are plenty of hip-hop artists who are Christian who aren't Christian rap. I mean, Scarface talks about Jesus in the Bible every so often, but I don't think Grapetree would like to have him on their label. And they do have one song that's pretty flat out all about religion and very preachy and very much like they're sort of speaking to kids, which would explain a lot of the sound of this album. But I don't want to give them too much credit because a lot of this album is like they're not talking to kids.
To talk about religion is quite a task.
To make a decision that will always last.
To choose a denomination you can believe.
One that's straightforward and easily conceived.
They're all a little different from one another.
But the main purpose is faith in the Heavenly Father.
But that's the only song. Like, that song is really die-hard, pure. That's like, you could put that right next to DC Talk. But none of the rest of the album is like that. There are some other preachy moments. They have an anti-drug song, which is a very basic, straightforward Saturday afternoon special kind of message. You know, there's nothing. This isn't like Skulls by Too Black, Too Strong. This isn't like Night of the Bassheads. This is your basic, really friendly, just say no to drugs kind of stuff.
There are a lot of drugs on the scene.
But with the lion promise, I'm making you a hot thing.
What makes you hot is not what you pop.
But only when you rock, you can really be hot.
If your friends try to make you take a pill,
Your friends are really friends, they're just ill.
drugs are like fried eggs, like I've said.
They don't do anything but mess up your head.
Promising to fulfill all your dreams.
But saying no to drugs will keep you clean.
There is a terrible hackneyed love song, as you would expect. I mean, frankly, lots of hip-hop albums have one, and you know this album's got to have one, and you know it's got to be even worse than most of them, and it certainly is. Again, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't just for their really stilted delivery and really, really corny lyrics. Even for the cheesiest kind of 80s groups, these are corny lyrics.
I'm all alone on a telephone. You left me in the twilight zone. And I lay in bed and in my head I apologize for what I said earlier tonight. It wasn't quite right. Tempers were flaring and we got in a fight. Now all I can do is think about you. It makes my heart all black and blue. And I meant it not, but on the spot I said some things when I got hot that I regret, and you can bet I'm up to my ears in verbal debt. You stack the decks and put the hex, but I know you think I just want sex. But you should realize that's not my size. I'm not the type to fantasize. You should know by heart
best material is probably when they're just going for straight sort of, I don't want to say battle rhymes, but, you know, flexing, braggadocio kind of rhymes. The fart game is also one of the best, but other than that, something like This Is Deaf, I mean, calling it This Is Deaf, I think, is going too far. I wouldn't give them that much credit. It's not actually deaf. There's some really sort of rudimentary, bland scratches in there, but at least they're making an effort, I guess.
The sound you're clocking was created by T. Peep this while I scratch the beat.
Yo, Doc, thought you could do a song without me, huh? Well, I guess not.
Again, when they get the keyboards and bass tones right, you know, when they're working, then it does sound kind of catchy and engaging, and it sounds like, I would say, like later era LA Dream Team, which isn't terrible if you have a very high tolerance for extreme corniness.
You're coming down to school to acquire an education.
You drink lots of beer like it's a vacation.
You party real hard, gonna flaunt your stuff.
You flunk all your classes and ain't that tough.
Your teacher says you're stupid, just clowning around.
The girls say you're cute, but they say you get around.
You're late for all your classes, you walk and they stare.
The teacher tells you what you miss, you say I don't care.
She puts you in the corner to wear the dunce cap.
It would have never happened had you listened to our rap.
And this just in, Dateline 1989, Rap's positive message discovered by America. From coast to coast, this new message is affecting people of all colors. The successful, exciting new band Tone Deaf is leading the way. The sensational new group has been labeled the New Untouchables.
It's been told to you before. I know you don't want to hear it anymore.
But if you don't wear a raincoat into the cold,
You'll end up just like I've told.
you're gonna come home blowing your nose.
Cause that's the way the little game goes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yo,
yeah,
what's up, man?
we're doing an interview here, and we'd like to know which band you listen to.
Any money involved?
Well, no, sir, but
I want some money.
well, we don't have any money. We're just taking a public interview. Which band would you listen to? Group A, whose music is fresh and positive, or Group B, whose music is tough, dry, and processed?
Since I'm tough and take what I want, I'll probably take Group B. You don't like it? That's
But,
a nice
sir,
watch you
but-
have there. That's a nice watch.
But, sir, Group A, Tone Deaf, is definitely better.
Nothing against LL or Bismarck Key. Not the B&G's, the BMOC. Tone Deaf pumping the mighty NEB. No fight, fine, Dr.
Did they just say BMOC, as in Big Men on Campus, as in Craig Schechter's rap group? That's amazing. I mean, just to demonstrate that it's not the player so much, let me play you like a real tape for a second.
Meet down, fuck that, Pete pack the gang. I wanna hear a cracker snap and pop. A nigga's going crazy cause I'm shell shot. Pop, 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 pop. I'm gonna buck them, so fuck them, they better get away. A nigga's going crazy in the hood, it's time to play. Shake the game, yeah, I'm a down ass nigga. Kicking it with the MP. So how do you think?
There's also an amazing piece of original instrumentation on here, which I'm not even going to describe any more than that. I'll just play it for you.
Tone Deaf.
I can only imagine the thinking behind that, that it was meant to be very much like Stetsasonics music for the Stetfully Insane. I think maybe that wasn't out yet. Maybe it was in 1989. I'm not sure. It would have been right around that time. So either they're completely ripping that off, they're probably completely ripping that off, but if not, then they just happen to be aiming for the same goal, but just not succeeding like Prince Paul did, of course. And yeah, I think just from what you've heard, you would have a hard time denying this is pretty astoundingly whack. And that's what I promise you. If you see this for 99 cents, I could see adding it to your collection. I did, and I don't regret it. Of course, I also did this, but this I do regret. So until next time, I do have some more ideas for some more whack attacks. I've definitely got some viable entries in my collection, but again, like last time, I'm not going to do it right in a row. I don't want to have a stream of, negativity and crushing musicians' dreams. So I'm going to do some more regular videos, but there will be a Wack Attack Part 3 and beyond, I promise you. So, thanks for watching.